how has it been for you?
Um, it was good after we had the session.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, it was just nice to I was able to speak to people
yeah.
and so much so as well now, like in my current rotation.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, I had a bit of a problem. So
Oh no,
I
what
think,
happened?
like BPD, if you get triggered, you
Oh
just
yeah,
like
yeah.
you kind of change to a different person.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and then that happened. Um, yeah. So like I had a friend.
Hmm.
People have been calling me sensitive, and I realize it's because I have this problem.
Yeah,
So there's a friend that I messaged her 2 years ago. We used to be like best friends,
yeah.
and like yeah, I wrote like a paragraph, and she completely ignored me.
Hmm.
And then like last week, I woke up to a message from her, and I was really happy. I was like, "Hey, oh, it's great to hear from you." Um, and then she didn't reply for a day, so I was like, "Hey, everything okay?" And she's like, "Sorry, I've been ill." I was like, "Don't
Okay.
worry."
Yeah.
And I answered her question, and then after that, she's not replied since. And yeah, I got really annoyed.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
Oh
And
no.
then and then another friend did that as well.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Okay.
after that, I felt low because
Yeah. You haven't talked to her since, right?
no, I think I was like, I could tell her maybe what you did hurt my feelings, but then I was like, oh, she's not worth my time. I'll just say it like that.
Yeah, yeah.
But
You know what? You can't control other people's, you know what I'm saying?
mhm,
It's like, it's just meaning that, you know what, it's the you don't even know their thoughts, basically is what I'm trying to say,
mhm.
right? You will never know someone else's thoughts. And then the thoughts about it we become kind of like, oh, maybe she doesn't like me anymore,
Mhm.
or maybe some situations happen. I don't know. You'll never
Yeah.
know. So it's, you know what, and that's what happens with the mind. It wants to go to the next, to the next, to the next,
Mhm.
or the past, right? But in the
Yeah.
present, if you can't go to the past or the future, what's wrong
Mhm.
with right now?
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, right. And that's with some with BPD. You know what I'm saying? Is it BPD? Bipolar, right? Borderline,
Oh no, PhD is
borderline,
borderline, which is like
borderline. Yeah, yeah,
emotionally unstable.
yeah. So
And
the stability basically is, if you look at it, um, if you look at it in the stability, um, the emotions can only be swayed by the past and the future.
hmm.
So at this moment, how are your emotions if you can't go to the past or the future,
Whoa, okay.
right?
That's a bit crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Wow.
Yeah, it's clarity, right? You feel clarity right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So because I'm normally angry because of what someone's done, or like I'll be angry because of what I think will happen.
Mhm.
Or like,
Or what happened, that
yeah,
kind of
what
thing.
happened?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's simple, right? Actually, I know a borderline personality that has, that actually he started his own YouTube channel, I'm saying, for quite a while. And then he stopped. He's just skateboarding and he's just playing guitar right now. He's in the States.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
I think he said that there's an admission that there's borderline personality, but that's also just a concept if you look at it.
mm, yeah.
Yeah. Right. Because, for example, if with emotions, what else happens? Let's tackle it, right? So
Mhm.
it's usually an emotional response, right? But where's the emotional response coming from?
Um.
If you can't use a
Oh.
thought, where's the emotional response coming from?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. It clears up right away, doesn't it?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was going to use because I did biology and psychology, so I was going to just say like oh, my amygdala is not working. But
No,
then if
just
I ignore the
yeah.
thought.
Yeah, if you ignore the thought, basically, right? It's just another, we don't even know where these thoughts are coming from,
Mhm.
but it's definitely not you. Your
Oh.
thoughts are not you. Yeah. No one can even find thoughts, basically.
Mm.
Yeah. Where's it coming from? How come we haven't studied it more, right? You can't,
Yeah.
because it doesn't really exist. It comes in and
Mhm.
out, right? So it's in its coming and goings. If you go in between the thoughts, like for example, what's between thoughts and no thoughts?
Mhm. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. Simple. Yeah.
That's so weird. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like a different reality when you're thinking. And then when there's the absence of it,
Mhm.
it's clarity. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, just silence.
Yeah. Good.
Well,
What a relief, huh? Yeah. Have you been watching the one once with your mom?
my mum, yeah, she's been playing it out loud. So we watched.
Okay. Yeah.
Um,
I
and
love your
then
mom.
yeah, she like sends me what you say,
Yeah.
like what's in between thought and everything,
Yeah.
and no thought.
With the, what is the in between the tot and the no tot?
Yeah.
At saka,
Oh my God. Yeah, she said yeah, she talks about you all the time. Oh, Emerson did this, did that.
yeah, my mom is doing it now too. So she's
Oh,
she's
really?
in a better place. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Oh,
She's
that's
there's a lot of silence there, right? Because she used to at one time she said, "Let's go to church." I've been doing it in between, and then she goes, "He's not here." And then she goes, "Take me to where you walk around." So we
Mhm.
go there, and she goes, "Oh, he's everywhere." Talking about
Oh.
God, basically, right?
Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah. So she stopped the rosary, she stopped the church. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
my God.
And she's
Wow, that's a
happy.
big.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
She goes, but don't tell your aunties and uncles,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, I get that. Oh, when I when I told my cousin who's younger than me that we're not religious anymore,
Yeah,
and she said, she's like, Chelsea, I don't want you to go to hell. You need
I
to believe in God. I'm
know.
like,
Yeah.
because it's like ingrained in us, like to be Catholic.
Yeah,
But
I know
yeah,
what you mean. Yeah. The Catholic, upbringing, right, is just so insane.
yes,
I had a lot of guilt, you know what I'm saying? Like how much more guilt,
really, yeah,
shame, right? Because you're like, oh, you know, um, because everything is a sin.
hmm, yeah, that's right.
Like, yeah, I remember doing a white lie before, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm going to go to hell. I'm going to go to hell because I lied. And then I was stuck like that. And um, for quite a while, right? One
Oh
white
wow,
lie. Yeah. And then I would go to the priest, and the priest would be like, oh, yeah, it's just play three Hail Marys and Our Father. I'm like, that's it. So I can keep on lying.
oh my God,
It's just
that's
all
so true.
thoughts. It's just all thoughts if you look at it. What are you
Yeah.
without your thoughts about you?
Oh, nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. Isn't it peaceful?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow. It's like I took a drug.
Yeah.
Wow. How did you come up with that phrase? That's so
With this
interesting.
stuff, well, you
Yeah,
know
like
what? I was suffering for quite a while, right? So I seeked enlightenment, right?
mm,
And then I thought I got it, right? But that was just a thought again.
hmm,
And then I lost it. And
yeah,
then I went into severe suffering. And then
hmm,
one day I was just, I was about to have a severe panic attack. I had severe anxiety, like I was popping out of van like crazy at one point, and I was hiding it.
Oh,
And then one
okay.
day I just went directly into it, right? Because when you
Mm.
have a whole bunch of thoughts, rather than avoiding it, and then I was just DJing, and then it all fell down, all of the thoughts,
Mm.
and everything was just I could not find my thoughts anymore. I could not find my belief. I could not
Wow.
find I could not find Emerson because Emerson's just a thought. So
Yeah.
there was this body walking around, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And I was speechless for quite a while.
Wow.
And then this in between started this year. I
Hmm.
was talking. I did a bunch of retreat with like 100 people,
Yeah.
and I wanted to just be direct with them. So of
Hmm.
course, if one thing works, then you repeat it over and over again.
Hmm.
Yeah. So it's kind of like when artists create music, they're coming from the in between because they're it's between thinking and not thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dancers, athletes,
Yeah.
scientists, philosophers, all coming from that space of clarity, basically.
Is it like a focus state or
Well, it's between focus and not focus.
yeah.
So it's between focus and not focus.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what else has been going on with your life, Chelsea?
Uh, um, yeah, so far I've been I was able to socialize like
Oh, good.
pretty well, which is like I think because I had nothing in my thoughts, so I was
Hmm.
able to be my authentic self, and then I think people noticed that and
Oh, good.
liked it. And yeah, I finally met my people yesterday. My people, let's see how it goes. But
Yeah.
yeah, I was able to be myself
Oh,
because
good.
I was able to empty my because I normally have
A whole bunch
so
of thoughts, right?
yeah, anxiety, yeah. But yeah, faded. The thoughts faded.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was very helpful. But yeah, just been like I'm studying to be product manager, so I got exam in December, and then I'm in a data product team, so I'm having to learn about data, and it's my final rotation, so I like really need to do well.
Yeah.
So I'm feeling quite pressured because I'm trying to study for a data product team and
Hmm.
then product management. So I'm trying to be calm because as you might know, if you got BPD and you're stressed, you can get paranoia and you start seeing things. Like I will see like a shadow, I think it's a dog or something.
That's right.
Or I
Yeah.
feel like
Yeah. Yeah.
someone's following.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
I need to get my 8 hours sleep, otherwise I'll get stressed and I won't be nice.
That's
It's a bit
right. Yeah. Again, what are you without those thoughts?
oh my God. Yeah, it's just completely the phrases I said, it just means nothing now.
Yeah. Yeah. It's almost like your face just brightens. You're like almost like
Yeah.
a deer in a headlight, kind of like, but
Yeah.
in a good way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's like
Yeah. The
it's
eyes
like
look
the light
around.
bulb.
You're like, what the hell? Right? Because it's trying to figure this out, right?
Mm,
But it will never be figured out because it's just empty, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
so everything I said is not true.
Yeah. Well, it's between true and not true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
It's
oh God. A lot of like, wow.
yeah.
Okay. So, you know when you had like anxiety?
Yeah. Oh my goodness. My anxiety was so severe, right? It was like I would say that, okay, you know what? In my next step, I'm going to get enlightened.
Mhm.
Uh, in my next breath, I'm going to get enlightened.
Yeah.
In the next second, I'm going to get enlightened. It would never happen. It's the end of the world. I'm going to
Yeah.
die. You know what? The sun will, I'll be suffering forever. And it just
Mhm.
comes into big narratives. All of a sudden, I was believing, you know what? I'm going to die out of terminal whatever
Yeah.
illness. I have terminal illness now. Oh my goodness. That kind of
Mhm.
thing. It was just never ending, right? It was just
Yeah.
like, And then all of a sudden, you know what? It's just nonstop. The thinking can't stop, and you're kind of like almost like neurotic and you're psychotic, and then you're
Mm.
breathing hard. You know what I'm saying, and all that kind of stuff. And
Yeah.
then you think that you're gonna die. I'm gonna die. Oh my god, I'm having a heart attack. Oh my goodness, I'm having a brain aneurysm. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness, I can't breathe. Right, that kind of thing. Sorry.
Yeah.
Something like that. You know, but that's
Yeah.
it's a variation of that basically, right? Yeah.
And then you have panic attacks
Yeah, and
from
I would
those.
be and I would be looking for my pill, you know, I would be looking for Ativan or something,
Yeah.
right? It's just to, you know, and then I'm breathing hard and then I'm freaking out, you know, and I'm kind of like um, you know, yeah, just going, yeah. And then you're just stuck in that zone for like, I don't know, a good time. And then
Yes.
you know, you have to, yeah, how do I get if this thinking? It's kind of like, I don't know if you've ever had like you've had a bad trip that you can't get out of,
Yes.
like from psychedelics, you know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah. Oh,
like that. Yeah. Oh, it's insane.
yeah.
Yeah, it's insane, right? So it's like, um, yeah, because instead of seeing that it's just irrelevant, the thoughts, because
Mhm.
it's not even here, it's kind of like you with the shadow. You're like, oh my goodness, that's you know, a manananggal or something. Do you know what that
Yeah.
is?
No, it wasn't. It's like a.
It's like the witch that separates from the body in the Filipino folklore.
Oh, okay. No,
Yeah,
no.
yeah, with the bat, you know, bat wings and everything.
Oh, yeah. I need
Yeah,
to culture myself. Yeah.
yeah. So don't even. So yeah,
Yeah.
so you know what, that kind of thing, right? It's kind of becomes really really scary. So you're
Mm.
petrified. So for a borderline, you're petrified of your vision. I'm petrified
Yes.
of my thoughts. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, because the world's gonna end. I'm believing it. Oh my goodness, you know what? My heart's gonna stop beating right now. I'm gonna be dead.
Hmm.
Um, is my underwear clean? That kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Oh my God.
saying?
Oh my God.
No, that's kind of funny because someone said if you're gonna die, make sure that your underwear is like, you know, someone is. Yeah, but that kind of stuff, right? It's just nonsensical stuff, right? I never thought
Yeah.
of that, of course. I'm just making fun of the situation because it just
Yeah.
keeps on going into this multiple, you know, variations of everything that's about to go wrong is about to go wrong in the next moment.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, can I ask, like maybe when you're maybe like sad, you do feel sad, like you process it and
Well, the sadness, if you go in between, if you unlabel the word sadness, what's there?
okay.
It's just sensations, basically, right?
Yeah.
Because if the
Okay.
sadness comes in, if you keep on adding stories to it, like, oh, I'm 53 years old, oh, I'm single, that kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
Or oh my goodness, I, you know, like the narrative. But if you see right away that the word, you know, that feeling sad is
Hmm.
just sensations appearing out of nowhere, then it might be the sensations. It's not avoiding it. It's not about bypassing it, but
Hmm.
just seeing that in the directness of it all, that it's just the mind wants to create a narrative about it.
Hmm.
So it stops the mind basically from creating a whole bunch of narrative. Then all of a sudden you're depressed. Then all of a
Yeah.
sudden, you know, all that kind of stuff, right? So it creates this like a reality check that it's really nothing. It's kind of like when you're looking at the closet and there's a shadow and you're like, oh, it's just a hanger,
Hmm.
you know,
Yeah.
right? Or kind of
Yeah.
like my thought of that, you know, my I'm gonna have a heart attack and everything is just a thought. It's not really
Mm.
happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm like, how can I have a heart attack? I run, you know, 2 hours a day and I eat healthy,
Yeah.
that kind of thing. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm having a heart attack because it's genetic, you know, stuff like that. It just keeps on going. Rather
Yeah.
than feeding it, you open
Hmm.
up, you turn all the lights out, and there's really no shadow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need to remind myself. I need to ask the questions.
Or the other question is, what am I without language?
Oh yeah, that one was effective. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even right now, what are you without language? Go there.
Okay.
Yeah. Right.
It's so freaky. It's freaky. It's like I just took a pill.
Yeah.
It's just like explosion.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay. Oh God. And actually, I was wanted to ask you about, can I ask you about like relationship advice? I don't know if that's,
Go ahead.
yeah, it's like, I don't know. I'm not 100% about my boyfriend.
Mhm.
But like, yeah, that's it. And then I'm like, if I leave him, I might not find anyone as understanding, obviously, of my
Yeah,
personality disorder.
yeah. Well,
So,
what are you without that thought? What's between leaving and not leaving, right? Because the mind wants to take you to the next, but you know what?
yeah.
Um, but you're not even in front of your boyfriend right now, right? So
Hmm.
yeah, when you're with him, do you feel happy?
Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. Mostly, but then I'm like, sometimes I have more fun with others
Okay,
because he's introverted. But
okay,
yeah.
yeah. So what are you without that thought?
Hmm.
This is clear. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
It's clear. Yeah.
yeah. Whatever it is, right? It's clear.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's very simple.
Wow. Wow. If you teach this to a child,
Well, there's a couple of people actually that's beginning to do this to children, right? So there is a doctor in Sydney,
mhm.
or that basically what he does is he's a pediatrician, and
Yeah.
he does psychology, I guess, and
Hmm.
he talks to 8 to 12 years old
Yeah.
that are suicidal and have depression, that kind of thing, and apparently it
Wow.
helps. Yeah, it helps.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, because it's very simple, right? People don't really see that everything is just thought based. The
Yeah.
reality that you perceive,
Hmm.
the problems that you think that you have, right? It's just thought
Yeah.
based. Without that thought, it's just
Hmm.
clarity. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I
Hmm.
feel like, oh my God, this would prevent so many of my sufferings.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Psychological suffering is insane, right? It's just, oh my goodness, I've
Yeah.
been through it. Um, I kind of wish someone did this to me like a while back,
Mhm.
just,
Yeah. Yeah.
just kind of like, because when I listen to a bunch of teachers, they're just
Hmm.
talking in a whole bunch of um, concepts, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
They'll say about this, and that, enlightenment, this, awakening, this, dropping it to me, but
Hmm.
somehow it can't, somehow they can't seem to show it.
Hmm.
They can't seem to show their experience, right? They can't seem
Yeah.
to see what's happening. So for me, it's been quite a while. There's just a lot of contentment, a lot of peace, right? And
Hmm.
believe me, saying I was a chaotic, crazy character, right? That was just, it was just like, yeah, insane, suffering a lot, and trying to do this and that, just always in my head.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know how that is like with BPD, right? So being
Yes.
in your
Yeah.
head all the time, right?
Hmm.
So it's good to
Yeah.
have this relief, right? You're like, oh my goodness, right? Because I
Yes.
even did the cognitive, what do you call that again? CBT.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Cognitive behavioral therapy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Because I was just going almost like neurotic in seeking, and in
Oh,
anxiety, right? So
yeah.
yeah. So CBT did help, but it was very temporal for me. How did that work
Mm.
for you, the CBT?
For me, I was just like, oh, this is things my mom says, because my mom is like positive, so she tries to change everything to positive. But then I did DBT.
Yeah.
That was more effective.
What's DBT again?
So that's dialectical behavioral
Oh, yeah, that's
therapy.
right. That's right. Yeah, yeah.
Um, Yeah, they teach you strategies to like calm
Yeah,
down
yeah.
and things
I think I
before
did
things
that
go
too.
bad.
Yeah. And how's that working? It's a bit better than CBT, right?
Yeah, I think it's better, and I
Yeah.
think it's better, yeah. How did you find it? Yeah.
You know what? At that time, I was just so in my head that
Yeah.
I could not. You know what I'm saying? When you're so in your head,
Like,
you're kind of like
yeah,
you can't even focus. You know what I'm saying?
exact. Yes.
Yeah. So I can't. I did not even kind of like really process it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I
I get
I
what you
thought it
mean.
was. You know what I mean, right? Because it's so annoying, right? It's
Yes.
like you just want everything right now, right? I didn't want to find another strategy because nothing is working for me. I
Yeah,
even
yeah.
did EFT. You know what I'm saying? Tapping.
Oh, yes.
Oh
Yeah,
my
yeah.
goodness. Yeah.
How
Yeah.
did you find that one for
I
you?
liked it at one point, but it was kind of funny, right? One time I was just so neurotic that I'll be walking and I'll be just like, I guess it
Oh
worked
my
for
God.
some people, right? So,
Yeah.
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 CBT, uh, the dialectic one still works basically, right? For a lot of people. But this one
Yeah.
is as an instant release, basically. It's a relief. When you see that in
Mm.
between mind and no mind, what's there?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll leave you with that. I'm going to stop the recording.